everyone, welcome back to Raw Synergy TV. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the strange and unexpected things that came out of me during my 136-day juice cleanse. So if you're familiar with the solid food vacation and you are really curious about these things, or you just simply have a morbid curiosity about what comes out of somebody during a solid food vacation, then this is the video for you. Now, warning, this video is primarily about bowel movements. So if that's not your thing, definitely check out one of my food videos or other informative videos on my channel. First off, I want to say that during my juice cleanse, I consumed nothing but fresh pressed juices that I made myself, and I strained each of my juices through 4 different strainers. I wanted to make sure there was absolutely no pulp, no fiber in my juices, because I wanted to know that whatever came out of me was old waste and not something fresh that I was putting in.
Since I know many people will be curious and want to ask, I'll add that around day 70, I started taking 1 teaspoon of psyllium husk and clay, and I took it for a total of 18 days. And what I noticed for me was that it basically just caused diarrhea. It didn't form any solid bowel movements, it just pushed everything out really fast. I realized that it wasn't really helping, it wasn't really making any kind of significant difference, so I stopped taking it, but I wanted to give it a try. When it comes to the clay and the psyllium, I know there are a lot of people who believe that these products are what create mucoid plaque, but I didn't experience that at all, and these are the 2 products that I took. Just 1 teaspoon of each for 18 days.
So the first unexpected thing for me, which is probably expected for most people who have been researching this for a while and are very familiar with a solid food vacation based on watching many people's videos, but I was still really surprised at the sheer amount of solid waste that came out of my little body. Having been on a raw food diet for 13 years now, I figured that I had released and cleared out all of the old waste leading up to me starting a raw food diet. And I did have constipation pretty much my whole life until I found the raw food diet, but I still felt like I had really cleared everything out. So it was surprising to me that I went to the bathroom every single day of my 136 days of juicing. There was only about 1 or 2 days where I only had 1 or 2 bowel movements. The rest of the 136 days, I had solid bowel movements every single day. Now, sometimes the bowel movements were on the liquidy side, but they almost always had solid material in them. I had anywhere from 3 to 9 bowel movements a day. I would say I averaged about 5 to 6 bowel movements every single day. One day I had 14. And sometimes they were very hot and they burned like acid. I was also very surprised at the amount of hard rock and pebble-like pieces that came out throughout the entire cleanse. This was very unexpected. Even though John Rose, who promotes the solid food vacation and juice cleansing, he talks about this a lot in his videos where you get these, what he calls blowouts or diverticuli that come out during the juice cleanse, I still was very surprised at the number of things like that came out in all different sizes and shapes. And this lasted well into the last couple of weeks of my juice cleanse. There were lots of solid bowel movements with so many layers. They had rock and pebble-like formations, looked like rock sediment, where you have layers upon layers upon layers, and it was crazy to imagine that all of that was inside. And there's just no way that those hard pieces were formed from just drinking the juice. The juice was definitely loosening up this stuff and pushing it out. There were also thick, dark, rubbery pieces that were coming out. Nothing that looked like the long, ropey strands of mucoid plaque. There were things that, like just solid bowel movement material that had those shapes, but it didn't have the rubbery texture, but lots and lots of little pieces that had that rubbery texture. And lots of large bowel movements that were completely normal looking. Another unexpected thing was the massive amount of mucus that came out of my body. This was a huge surprise. Was not expecting that at all. Mucus came out in every shape and form, and it was often layered in between and around the solid material. But sometimes the only thing that was really coming out was mucus. That was like the main thing exiting my body, especially after having a colonic. I know it's normal to have a certain amount of mucus in the body as it protects the lining of our digestive tract, but when it's in such an excessive large amount, it's usually there because it's trying to protect the body from a lot of toxins and acids in the body that would otherwise cause damage. So it just continues to build up as a means of protection. I was actually quite shocked on a couple of occasions to see a large mass of bloody mucus coming out, which didn't really look like it should be something inside my digestive tract. Another very strange thing that I saw coming out quite a bit, especially in the very beginning, were these small, very dark green blobs. I mean, I just don't even know. I can't even begin to understand or know what it was, but it just did not look normal, and it's nothing that I have ever seen before. There were also very strange, cloudy films that would come out, and they would just float on the surface. I have no idea what those were, but it was really weird. They kind of look a little bit like how oil looks in a puddle. It kind of looked like that, not rainbowish. It was more like a cloudy, grayish yellow, maybe. That would happen quite a bit. The number one craziest, strange, most unexpected thing that came out of me was permanent solution. So I don't know if you all know what a permanent is. I don't even know if people still get perms today. But back when I was growing up, it was the thing because everybody wanted to have really curly hair. And my mom was a cosmetologist. She did hair her whole life. She had her own salons, and she was often doing my hair, and I would say over the course of my young adulthood, I probably had about 5 perms where they put really tight curlers in your hair, and they put this disgusting solution that smells so horrid, and it's a very distinct smell. You know that smell when you smell it. You put it on your hair and you leave it in for a while, and it sits on your head and it soaks into your hair, and it makes your hair curly, and the curl will last for months and months. The very last time I had a permanent, I was probably 15 years old back in the 80s. And after I did my first colonic during this juice cleanse, I've had colonics in the past, a number of times, but during this juice cleanse, it was my first colonic during the juice cleanse at around the 30-day mark. And when we were all done and I went into the bathroom, I released a massive amount of stuff and a big, massive amount of this permanent solution came out of me. It was so strong and overwhelming, and it was so obvious that it was Perm Solution because I don't know anything else that smells that distinct. And a lot of people say that that kind of stuff doesn't get stored inside your body, but I mean, it was just so distinct and so, definitely was Permanent Solution coming out. We are often exposed to all kinds of chemicals all day long in and around our environment, not only from our environment, but if we're not paying attention to what we're putting on our skin or in our bodies, we're getting all kinds of crazy chemicals as well. So I found a juice cleanse to be a great way to cleanse a lot of that stuff out. And I feel so much better after having done this juice cleanse. And I definitely would recommend, if you're feeling called to do one, to definitely give it a try, at least for a week or two, just to see what comes out of you. For me, I took it one day at a time, and my goal was to go as long as I could until I felt that my body had fully healed, or until my body gave me the indication that it had had enough. And so that's what I think is a great approach if you want to do a solid food vacation. Doing a juice cleanse is a great way to clear your body, to clear your digestive system, and to really give your body a great reboot. One thing I want to add is that I was able to heal multiple chemical sensitivity, which was wreaking havoc in my life. I was breaking out in rashes all over my upper body, and it was horrible. I couldn't go to any stores, I couldn't go out, I couldn't touch certain fabrics or hug people. It was awful, but it seems to be completely gone since doing this juice cleanse. The biggest reason why I want to share this information is because I feel it's really important to know that there is the possibility that we have all these crazy things inside of us and we don't even know that these are the things that are causing us problems. So if you know somebody who works in and around chemicals, like a cosmetologist, somebody who's working in a hair salon or a nail salon, and they're exposed to chemicals every day, or they're in an industry where they're surrounded by chemicals on a daily basis, it's really important to share these kinds of tools and techniques that are at your disposal that you can use to help your body achieve a great state of health. My mom ended up passing away of a very serious brain cancer, and I don't want to see other people go through that. If there's a way for them to avoid it by doing regular cleanses to help their bodies rid these things, then it's worth making a video like this to share this information. I would love to know if you've done a juice cleanse, if you've seen anything similar to what I saw during my juice cleanse. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know what your experience was like. So if you like this video and you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you know somebody who could benefit from this particular information, share this video with them. And be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you'll always see exactly when I post a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.